of the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to another edition of Straight Talk. I have my special guest here again with me this evening. First of all, I'm Dion Dean. For those who don't know, I didn't introduce myself. So we have our guest here with us, Judge Harvey, and we have Judge Davis.
Good evening. Good
evening. How you ladies doing?
Good.
All right. I know it has been a very, very busy time, so we need to talk about that a little bit of what's going on, where we're at, and I know we've talked about a number of things in different shows. Now we're at the point now we're looking at March 20th around the corner. Yes. I know that we've gone through some other things as far as turning in petitions and getting things done to try and position ourselves on the ballot. So what's up, ladies? Judges?
Good evening
Thank
again.
you.
Just welcome back. You know, telling you that like it's not your show. I mean, glad to be here. Like you said, it's been really, really busy.
Yes.
Petitions are in, so yay. But, you know, we're just back on the trail again. We are back talking to the community, being out, you know, in the community, especially during this season because it's the holiday season.
Right.
And so, of course, we in this space have so much to be thankful for this year, but having the opportunity to be out and do really, for us, things that we were already doing to, you know, holiday affairs with our Girl Scouts, our top teens, several senior events in Chicago and South Cook area. Fortunate to be able to participate with everything from toy giveaways
to Christmas in the Wards on this
Saturday.
And my top teens and I are volunteering.
So where's that going to be at?
Christmas in the Wards encompasses multiple, and we'll both be there, encompasses many of the South Side wards. If I try and list them, I will mess it up. But it'll be at Olive Harvey this Saturday from 10 until 2. The families have already been chosen by the aldermen in the communities, and they'll come to get toys and other things for those families and those children. And so again, I'm a top teen advisor, and I have approximately right now 45 top teens that I advise. All of them, of course, won't be able to be there, but will come, and that will be our Christmas volunteer activity. Because we always, you know, my top teens are mostly blessed young people. They have families that are able to afford enrichment activities for them, able to look for additional things to enrich their lives socially and giving them future professional development. So as part of that, too much is given, much is required.
That's right.
So we always have a service project at Christmas time, and this year it's going to be with the young people, which is kind of nice because it's teenagers helping, you know, young people, and just directing traffic wherever, you know, go fetch it, whatever they need.
So another busy day.
Yes.
It's always a busy day.
Another busy day.
But it's a good atmosphere, and the reason I say it's been a good atmosphere is, as candidates, we are always talking about being of service. We're talking about the need for us not to just come, because everyone always says, well, we see the judges when it's election time and you want something from us. You want our support. And we always say, well, we're servants. We serve you in the courtroom as we are dispensing justice, and we are just continuing to be of service. Well, it's been a wonderful opportunity for us not to just be of service in what we do in the courtroom, but also having the opportunity to serve in our community, for the community to be able to see judges who are serving food on a holiday line. You know, it's like, you all are real judges. Yes.
We did that was it this Saturday? It all blurs.
We did it Saturday at Thornton Township. We did it the week before over at 111th Street for the 5th District.
The CAPS event.
So, I mean, we are, and I think the great part is we are serving not to be seen, but to show people that judges are part of the community. We're not above the community. We're not above anyone that we serve. We serve simply in a different capacity. But we are a member and a productive member of our community. And so that is just really important And for the teens, and especially over at 111th Street, they're
The Explorers Club.
the CAPS Explorers.
Oh, wow.
They're great.
It's wonderful because these are young people that we have firsthand contact with who get to ask us questions, and they laugh with us, and it's wow.
What's the age range for them?
They were, I think there was one sophomore, and I think the rest were juniors. There may have been one senior.
one.
And what's really amazing,
Two, I think,
two seniors, I think it's next week or this week, they're going to Princeton on an all expenses paid STEM visit to Princeton.
Wow.
So, and these are kids who go to Corliss High School. What a blessing. What a blessing. And the nice thing is, we're there more than once. So I met many of them during the Operation Warm Coat, where we were, Judge Harvey and I got I don't remember when last time we were here, we were putting coats on kids at the 5th District with the CAPS. So we met the CAPS Explorers there. So then when we were back for the 5th District Children's Party, the same Explorers, Judge, how you doing? And that's nice to me, when people see you again.
Yes.
When they know it's not a drop by, that you didn't just come, hey, let me see your face, I need something from you. But when they know you, when you're part of the community.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
that's exciting.
That's got to be exciting.
For me, I love to be able to see the response that I'm having an immediate impact. Exactly. On a young life.
Right,
so these are young ladies who
And men.
who, what is it that you want to do with your life? Okay, well, have you thought about taking classes here? Well, I want to work in law enforcement. Where in law enforcement? You're in a STEM program. So have you thought about maybe being a crime scene investigator or a criminologist?
Right.
And so engaging them.
It's kind of like guiding them, giving them that guidance to where you need to go.
And just fostering what they want to do. You know, this is what you want to do. Not saying, oh, well, you can't do that. But okay, let's make it big. You want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something important to, if somebody says they want to go into law enforcement, that's great. That's a wonderful profession. Do you want to do more within that? Then you can, if that's where you want to stay. But let them know the sky is the limit within their dreams. And that's the thing with millennials now. They, unlike us, aren't going to have one general career path. They're going to do multiple things. So let's open it up. Let's let them see all that they can be.
Yes, that's wonderful. I love it. I mean, and then to have them going down, you said Howard, right? Princeton.
Not that I'm knocking Howard.
Yeah, Howard's a great school.
HBCU
But Princeton is a great school too, one of our top schools in the nation. And so to have
is Howard.
You say what?
So is Howard.
Can't Howard, y'all hear me? We're not number one. But no, it's just great to see and know that they're going there. They get to have some options to know, and it's exciting just to meet people there. Are they going to be meeting people that go to school there? What's going to happen at those STEM?
I don't know the specifics, but let's be clear. These are kids who, what people say, grew up in the inner city. Well, you know, they grew up in my neighborhood, so okay. They're going to Princeton.
That's right.
They're about to walk around. These are sophomores, juniors, seniors walking around Princeton campus. That's something to shout about. That's a hallelujah moment. Just the interaction to walk around. I haven't been to Princeton's campus. They get to go. That's all expenses paid.
Right. And most of us just hear about Princeton. I've never been there before. I would love to have had an opportunity in high school to go and say, I've been to Princeton. I know if I want to go there, whatever.
They get to make those choices.
Right. But that's exciting. So what else is going on other than the STEM program and working with the kids? And I know you're serving people. And so have you had a chance to just lay back and say something about shopping for family?
Actually,
I mean, Christmas is right around the corner.
No, actually, and that's the balance. And I love and I appreciate, family, because that was a reality moment. I've been ripping and running, and I had someone tell me, you go spend today with your daughter. I said, okay, well, we can all go to the show. No, you go do one-on-one time with your daughter, because you've been running here and there. And most certainly my oldest just got home from New Orleans 2 days ago from college.
Wow.
But my youngest has been here and has had to make the adjustment of, mommy, the teen cheer mom or track mom, to mom, the judge, the candidate who's going here and there. And not that she doesn't go with me, but she's there as the candidate's daughter, so she's helping to serve food, which a lot of it she does anyway with her involvement. But some one-on-one time. So we went out Saturday, and I was like, well, what do you want to do? Are you serious, Mom? Yes, I'm serious. Let's just me and you. Of course, she got a pair of gym shoes out of it, so she was ecstatic, and that's
she was cool. Like, where I want to go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back. Take me to the gym shoe stuff.
Yes. I mean, but
right.
I did when we were out at the mall. I picked up some things for family members. I love the holidays, so I found some new ornaments for my Disney tree.
Okay.
So
okay.
It was a good.
So you're doing some decorating. What about yourself? You're doing decorating as well, or what's going on?
Well, I didn't even think about it. I guess I did. We have a girlfriend's party every year, and it was at my house. So after we spent the week at Judges School, we spent last week at New Judge School with judges from all over the state.
Y'all just miss. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it by the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
There you go.
But it was wonderful. I think I had about 8 girlfriends at my house, and several of their children and their kids have become more preteens now, which was funny because they're like, well, Miss Adrian, do you have the gingerbread houses this year? I said, I thought you were too old. They're like, yeah, okay, no. And it was just lovely time for girlfriends to kind of feed your soul. One of the things I have made decisions about, if I'm not doing service, which feeds my soul, but it is also campaigning, if I'm doing social events, they need to feed my soul.
Right.
They need to give me something to lift me up, to carry me on this journey. Right. And hanging out with 8 of my girlfriends, 2 of them I studied for the bar together. We all passed the Illinois bar examination the first time in 3 of those women. We all passed the bar examination the first time in 1994. Other women are women I've met along the way, along this journey. I've known most of those women who are at my house over 20 years. And it was just taco night with the girls and my beautifully decorated tree that I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning getting it decorated.
Come on now.
Before we went to, where did we go Saturday?
Oh, early.
First we went to pay our respects to Committeeman Tim Bradford. After we paid our respects to him and loved on his wife, we then went to Democratic Women of South Suburbs holiday brunch, which was soul feeding. It was soul feeding.
Was it soul feeding?
Yeah, just women,
a good space.
A good space.
And not just women, also men.
No, also men.
Okay.
And then from there, Thornton Township, which was lovely.
Yeah.
I
was going to try to make it to Thornton Township, but I heard it was really, really nice.
It was lovely. And it's nice because our community is starting to see us. And Mr. and Mrs. Allen, if you're watching, you have my heart, because there are people, there are a couple who live in South Holland. They live in the villas. And we saw them at the ice cream social. I saw them at 7:30 in the morning when I was at coffee with the mayor with Judge Bates in South Holland. I was able to go to Judge Harvey. She's a downtown courthouse, so she couldn't make it. And you see the same people over and over, and the support they give you, and the goodwill they give you, and they tell you, baby, I'm praying for you. Baby, I want you to get this. I know that you are the judge for this time and this season. That fills the soul. So you may be campaigning, but it fills the soul.
Yeah, but I'm just so happy that it's getting to that time period where it's going to be, hey, let's just go to work.
And we're doing work.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the work, and I think the important part of just the entire process, even to go to judges school last week, and people I'm sure are saying, well, what is judges school?
Yeah, what is judges? Let's talk a little bit
It
about
was
it.
huge.
Right, it's we've been in that position for at this point
9 months.
Yeah, and so now it's, well, what are you really supposed to know? Let's go over the different areas of law. Let's go over procedure. Let's go over how you as a judge in a new space find balance. How do you, maintain your identity while, becoming this new person, this new role, undertaking these new adventures. And so it was really, really helpful. And some people may say, well, why does it take that long to get to new judges school? Well, now I have some experience and I'm able to put the information that I'm given in perspective. I'm able to say, okay, these are the proceedings in a civil courtroom. This is how this goes. This is what this particular type of motion is. Well, I have a specific question. Now I can ask an educated question and say, I have this instance occur over and over. How should I best address this? What about this? And it creates camaraderie amongst us that are part of, in essence, our class of judges that came in. But it also gives us mentors, which is very important. You know, none of us are an island unto ourselves. But at some point, there should be someone I'm able to go to and say, I have a question. How do I balance this? How do I do this? Where do I find this answer? And that's one of the very important things that we get from that training. We also, and the thing that we've been telling people the last couple of days, as judges, we also were trained in some of the community outreach programs that judges do.
Wow.
We have in-school programs that range from kindergarten all the way through high school. And so we were trained in those programs as well. And so now we're able to go into our community even more in the capacity as a judge to say, okay, we want to talk to the kindergarten through third graders about Abraham Lincoln's hat. We're going to read that story and participate and engage them there. All the way up to the high schoolers, where we go in and say 7 reasons to leave a party.
You don't learn all this in one day, though, do you?
Well, it was a week. And
Yeah, because I'm like, that's a lot. Man, I'm just like.
So let me back up a little bit. We were specifically at statewide new judge school. So it was for all the judges who have been appointed, and it was only appointed judges at this new judge school just because we're in the middle of an election cycle.
Gotcha.
So those who were elected in the last election cycle had previously gone. So there were judges who had been on the bench from, I think it was February, Judge Miller, through a judge, Judge Gonzalez, who had been on the bench 2 weeks.
Right.
So I think, and it was statewide, so there were 32 participants and taught almost exclusively by judges, appellate court justices, and a Supreme Court justice. And I think, as we've said previously on the show, Judge Harvey and I have one day apart in our appointments, 5 minutes apart in our appointment phone call. So having been on the bench for 9 months, I had a clue of what I don't know. I think I always say, you don't know what you don't know.
Correct.
I had a little bit of an inkling of, I don't know this. I know the law. I know how to find the law, but there's still some spaces you don't know. It is a misnomer to think that you can one day raise your hand, take the oath, and the next day know everything. And the beauty of new judge school is they taught you how to find what you didn't know. You come in with good basics.
That's great.
You come in with good basics if you've been appointed because you're ready to show yourself approved.
Right. That's right.
Exactly.
You come in with the foundation, but you need to build up the house. And so new judge school, I think, allowed us to build that up.
Wow.
And I do want to say about the programs they take you in the school, I think what was so important into the school and in the community, because 7 reasons to leave the party could be other places, is one of the things we found out about becoming judges is we can't give legal advice. So I had, developed scenarios that I would go take and I would advise people on, okay, you're going to do this. Okay, I can't do that now. What Attorney Davis could do, Judge Davis can't do.
Gotcha.
So the programs at the Illinois Judicial Association, of which we're both members, not just because we're judges, but because we've joined the association, it creates a platform and gives you spaces and ways to continue to give to your community, but in your space as a judge.
Wow.
And I think that's just really such a big part, because it's not that judges exist in an ivory tower.
That's right.
One of the things that we do learn is that you're a judge at all times.
Okay.
So whenever I go anywhere, I do still represent the judiciary. So in how I act, what I wear, how I,
Leaving the health club.
Yes.
I can't look crazy.
Right. I mean,
you can't be in the health club looking crazy.
Well, I mean,
I might look crazy in the health club.
I'm working out, and once upon a time, I would leave the gym and I would swing, because the grocery store is right around the corner from my house. So I'd swing by the grocery store, still sweaty, tank top, workout pants, my gym shoes. And now it's, well, no, I'm a judge and I have a certain level and that I have to present in. So I've got to go home first and shower and put clothes on. I don't have to put on a suit to go back to the grocery store. But I'm not going to the grocery store in running pants.
Gotcha.
There's some skirts that had to go lower.
Some skirts that had to go lower.
Right. I mean, not that we can't be fashionable, because we tend to think we're fashionable.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
The
Yes,
heels
you
may
are.
be high, but the skirts may be a little lower.
Right, the skirt bring them down. But you all are always presentable. So I mean, I've never, I don't.
You've met us as judges.
Yes.
But we were.
Yeah, I don't think too much changed in the years. So, but no, that's a great thing. But that's good information. I mean, the judge school is for you all to go right before you're going to be going back to the bench. That is extremely helpful.
I mean, and one of the things,
Extremely
just like
helpful.
most of the other professions, we have continuing education.
Right,
so
right.
Just like as attorneys, we had to do CLE, which was continuing legal education. Nurses have to do continuing education. So even judges, because the law changes.
Yes.
Trends change.
Yes.
Once upon a time, your research, you went to Lexis and Westlaw and you did your research either in a book or in a computer system, but largely you would go grab the, whatever digest you needed to get. Now everything is online.
Wow.
And so even how cases are cited has changed. So you've got to learn.
So it's an
now.
ever learning.
What we learned in law school has changed.
A lot of it's outdated. How you do legal research, citing cases, it's all changed.
I learned how to go to the law books when I started at 26th Street. And there was a law library, and there was the law librarian, and he would update things, and there were pocket parts, and all those things you learn. There's no law library anymore. It's all electronic. It has completely changed.
Wow, electronic. So you got to learn all those things to even go in and know what to pull up and look at.
But you got to know how to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So because if you had a book there, you just open the book up and go. But now,
you can't depend on going and say, "Baby, can you go shepherdize this?"
Right.
And shepherdize is can you see if this case is up to date? You can't go ask somebody else. You need to be able to do that yourself.
And I noticed though, I mean, back in the day, you didn't have the computers right there on the desk of the judge.
Computers on the
Absolutely.
desk, because we're going to electronic docketing.
Wow.
So the things will be electronic. You've got to keep up.
Because a lot of the cases in the division I'm in now, a lot of the cases are electronically filed.
Okay.
But as of January 1st, I believe it is, all of them.
So you won't have that person that's sitting there on the side that goes get everything.
I still have a clerk.
You
Amen.
still have a clerk. Okay.
Praise the
I
Lord.
still have my clerks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are changes
That's-
in just how everything proceeds. So
Wow.
you have to stay on top of that. As we watch television and all the changes with social media and tweeting.
Yes. Yeah.
So with that, new changes in the law.
Wow.
New changes in how you can communicate, because once upon a time you thought you were high on the hog if you were faxing something. Now that's antiquated.
Yes, it is. The people faxing.
Well,
you.
just think about there's now criminal charges of harassment by electronic means. So you can be criminally charged for harassing someone through Facebook or Twitter or whatever else there is out there that snappy chatty.
Right.
Snappy chatty, all those other things that come
Right.
up. Right.
Because 20 years ago when we first started practicing, over 20 years ago, you didn't have that.
No, I mean, I'm noticing, I'm like, man, you can just go in now when you're talking to someone, you could pull up different information. The last time they were in, I mean, you've got everything at your hand.
When we started, you have to go *67 to see who called.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it has just changed so much, but just like everyone else, the judges, because we rule on those types of matters, we have to stay abreast of all of those issues.
Wow.
We have to, changes in medicine. So if it's a judge who listens to cases of medical malpractice, what are the new standards? Right.
Wow. This is a lot. I mean, but people don't know that you all have to do all of that. They just think everyone's just, now it's changing. You got to do more for yourself.
Right.
And you have to be up on every law that's changing on a regular basis. So, I mean, that's a great job. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better.
Just please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. Over 20 years of armed security experience. The very best in shopping mall security, inventory watch, find missing loved ones, investigative open legal cases, community policing. Are you taking a vacation this summer? For peace of mind, you need our House Watch service, cheetah surveillance, and much more. International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. That's 1-773-675-8506. Call now.
And we're back. So we were talking about the schools and some of the things and all the technology that you ladies now and other judges have to learn. And so you feel as though, is it better, or did you like does it make your job better as far as getting information right away and at your fingertips?
I think it's just different.
Right.
Is Facebook better than a telephone? I mean, I guess. It's just different. This is the world we live in. Accept it for what it is.
Right. And that's true. It is our world now. We have to learn it. And so, I'm just looking at everyone who wants to be a judge, and I think we talked a little bit earlier about it. It's like, do they understand you're going to be on a learning curve on a consistent basis now, because things are changing all the time.
And it's rigorous. When we were in judge school, it was at 8:30 to 4:30 or 5 o'clock day. And even on the bench, today I finished a 3 co-defendant trial at 3:30. Well, okay, that doesn't sound like a long day, but it was pretty much no breaks. And that didn't mean my day was finished. That meant that trial was finished. There was still an officer waiting for me to do a warrant. There's still other things that had to be done. So it is I'm not complaining, but it is more than a full-time job.
Right.
I did a warrant, I don't even know if I told you, I did a warrant at 1 o'clock in the morning. Police officer, he needed the warrant. I said, this is my job. I asked to do this job, I should do it. And the officer was texting me. I'm pretty free with giving my phone number to police officers to reach out for warrants. They're very respectful. I met him at the McDonald's while I was putting up my tree, and met with he and the confidential informant 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Read the paperwork, sworn in, did my job.
Wow.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
People would never even know that goes on.
Now, if I had been asleep, we would have worked it out. I was up, and he was appreciative that I was willing.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to know that you do that. But that's putting the work in, though. That's putting the work in, and you have to understand, if you want this type of position, you have to be willing to put the work in.
It is a job that requires energy. It is a rigorous job. Perhaps part of the reason so many are retiring is it is a rigorous job. There are people who say, oh, it's a part-time job. It is a rigorous job if you do it well.
Wow.
I mean, there's so much to the job. Generally, when the public thinks about a judge, you just think about the person who's sitting on the bench in a robe and just ruling on cases and above everyone, and that's it.
Right.
They don't think about the fact, and again, not complaining. I have days where I'm in court at 6:30. It's not frequently, but have I had trials that go that long? Absolutely. Because my job is to dispense justice, to give people their day in court. I'm not getting to 3 o'clock or 4:30 and saying, okay, that's enough, the day is over, I'm going home.
Right.
No, I still have defendants and plaintiffs here in court. So we're going to be here however long it takes to get through the witnesses. I'm not rushing, taking my time. I'm being mindful of the individuals who are before me, because for everyone who steps before the bench, that case is important to them.
Yes,
and it deserves the attention and the time to do it. There is the temperament that comes with it, which is something that a lot of people don't think about, because
Temperament is important.
oh my goodness, for someone who doesn't go to court every day, that experience of going to court can be frightening.
Yes.
It can be overwhelming. And to have someone who is just barking orders at you or making you feel more uncomfortable or afraid in an already, agitating situation could just be, mind-blowing. But if you have someone on the bench who says, I understand this is not your normal space, so let me assist you in understanding what's occurring in this courtroom today. Let me assist you in making you feel comfortable, and then explaining how this is going to work, how I reached the conclusion that I need to reach based on the law and the evidence presented.
Right.
Then you allow people to leave that experience, even if they don't get a ruling that was favorable to them, they can leave that experience saying, I had my day in court.
Yeah, it was fair. You
Yes.
want that's all you want is fairness when you go to court.
I think that extends even sometimes to attorneys. Because I'm in a misdemeanor courtroom, I have young lawyers, lawyers that I am truly old enough to be their mother. And I had an experience today, the young state's attorney, who is fabulous. And she's doing the call, and we were going at a pretty fast pace because I have what is considered a high volume courtroom by any stretch of the imagination. So we're going at a pretty fast pace, slow enough that the litigants are being heard, but cases are being dismissed. And I realized she missed a couple things. And I realized immediately it's on me to slow it down. Just because I view strongly part of my job is training young lawyers.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, just like I would tell a defendant or a witness, okay, we're just going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to take that extra breath so you can, make sure you've caught everything. As she grows, she'll be able to go faster.
Right.
But better that she learns how to do it well and right than fast and wrong.
That's good to hear. I mean, a lot of times judges are moving, you have a high volume of cases, you just, hey, look, you didn't catch that, we're just going to keep moving forward. But you say, I'm going to slow down, let her get it together.
Now, she did miss something.
Right.
Can't fix everything, but it's like, okay, we won't let that mistake happen again. And I had another experience, another young attorney. Probably this wasn't a good thing, but I looked at her, I said, where are your pantyhose? I was like, it's cold outside. She's like, I know. I said, I feel like I'm your mother. She's like, I could use another mother here. I said, do you need a mentor? She said, I don't remember if I said it or she said it. She's like, one of us said about mentoring. She's like, oh, I love it. I have a new mentee.
Right.
Then she told me I was older than her mother. Thank you so much.
Okay.
But, if a young attorney wants a mentor, that is my right and reasonable service. And I'm just pleased that I have presented myself in such a way that she was comfortable making that connection.
Yes.
This is not someone I knew well.
Yes.
She's appeared before me many times.
Right.
And she was like, oh, I'm going to call you Judge Madre. This is great. We're going to do coffee. That is my right and reasonable service, because that is what was done for me.
Wow. I mean, I'd love to hear it. I mean, that touches my heart, because I would, being young, coming in, you're kind of, shaking a little bit. You need that guidance.
And even
that
young
support.
lawyers, I remember shaking at the bench.
Right.
Defendants shake, but so do young lawyers.
So they want to get it right for the people that they're, representing. So
And, the whole room is looking at them, and you're the lawyer, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's my job to help bridge that gap, not, create an unfair playing field, but make sure that the playing field is fair.
I like that. I like that, and making sure it's fair, because a lot of times you have an experienced attorney there with their client, and then the other one is unexperienced with the client, and you're sitting there seeing how
Well,
things are
also,
tilting.
as I've said before, I just firmly believe good lawyers are made by good judges, and if we can help make better lawyers, then our world, our system, our community will be even better.
Yes.
Wow.
There will be, we keep hearing so many people say it's so wonderful to see these young African American judges. Well, let's get some more. I want to be replaced by these women I'm mentoring. That's who I want to replace me.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about where we're going from now until March 20th. So I know we have a lot of events coming up. Like you all just came from several things this weekend. We've all bumped into each other out there. But you have several things that are going to beef up around the Christmas holiday and the New Year. So what's going on for actual events for Christmas and the New Year? Are you going to be with family for the New Year, or are you going to go out to events? What's going on?
I haven't even gotten that far.
It's right around the corner.
Christmas dinner will be at my house. Yes. I will not be campaigning on Christmas Day unless, if I'm given an opportunity, unless I'm told I am. But I will have about 30
people. You're going to go feed some, go feed some people.
And if I am,
on Christmas
Day. But I will have
yeah.
about 30 people at my house for Christmas dinner.
Okay.
So I'll have 30 people there, and I haven't gotten past that.
Yeah, I just
same thing. You got your kids, your daughters,
right.
yeah.
I'm back to being mom. Figuring out how I can run my college student around and make her, while she's here, get out there and campaign for mom. But I think it doesn't change for us.
Okay.
In what we do as far as being really some of everywhere. And for me, it's been somewhat eye-opening that I always thought that I was busy and I was always active. I mean, I'm a busy person, but active in the community. And for me, this experience has just been eye-opening to see how much more there is out there really in our communities to do.
Yes,
and that needs to be done.
And so outside of my judge space, that is my challenge to our community. For us to come outside of our comfort zone. And for us in this season, just like I went out and served, there is space for all of us to come out and go to the communities, the nursing homes where you live, the shelters, the PADS programs, which also provide shelter to the homeless, especially in inclement weather. All of these programs are run largely on volunteers, and they are in need of volunteers. So for those of us who have been blessed and fortunate to have a little bit more than others, to volunteer. Cutting a check is fine. I'm not saying don't cut a check because they appreciate it.
Exactly.
But to say, you know what, I'm going to take my kids and we're going to go to Children's Hunger Fund in Homewood and help bag rice and wrap gifts. We're going to go to figure out what we can do in Chicago with 34th Ward or 9th Ward or 21st Ward, or go with We See and see what they're doing with the CAPS over at 111th Street, and can we go volunteer to help pass out coats? Can I go to Thornton Township and help serve again?
Right.
A lot of the churches have PADS programs. Can I bring my Girl Scout troop in? Can I bring my children? Because I need my children to understand how blessed they are. And go in and volunteer. So I mean, I'm challenging everyone who's watching. For the holiday, get your family and friends together. We're going to have plenty of turkey and ham and macaroni cheese and sweet potatoes, and we're going to spend all that quality time. But to take 2 or 3 hours and get up early and go serve at a homeless shelter. Or if you don't want to, a lot of the places like that are full now because they get volunteers around the holiday time. I know a couple people who took their family members and they went to the dollar store. They got little, dollar like pencil cases and got small travel toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, lotion, some snacks. They made sandwiches put them in a brown paper bag, and basically drove down on Lower Wacker and just to the homeless people on Lower Wacker, gave them a care package.
Wow.
And that was so humbling to their children to
Yes.
say, Mommy, these people actually live here. Yes, these are people, they live here.
This is their home. Whereas you're going to go home with the roof over your head.
Yes, I mean, and being in this space,
Mm-hmm.
although I'm in this space as a candidate, I mean, to see how much more we are responsible as a community to do.
Right, right. Well, that's
And I'm
That's
going
what
to
it's
add
all
to that
about.
challenge. Don't be afraid to touch the people you're helping. And when I say touch, I just mean touch. There's so many people who don't get anyone who gives them a handshake, a hug. Look in their eyes. Treat them with dignity. You know, this is another human being. This is somebody who, when they were born, their mother was happy. Their grandmother was happy. Treat them that way, the way that you would want to be treated. I just think there's such a space for just that handshake, that hello, that Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a good day. God bless you. God loves you. I think that means the world to people.
right. Well, so through this election period, you've met a lot of people now that you consider friends, and like you said, you've met that couple, and they've touched your heart. So I mean, that's a wonderful thing. So you guys, after this, once you take your bench again, you won't have to run again, right? Or how does that go? Because I don't know how.
In 6 years, you run for retention, and that's generally what people see on the ballot, where it's just a long list that says retain, don't retain. So it's just yes or no. I'm not running against anyone. I'm
Okay.
simply getting.
But we are still saying, as a voting person,
Right.
keep this person in, keep it.
Right.
But you don't have to do the.
Yes.
the
Amen. But I know we both talked about this, that even when this campaign cycle is over,
Right.
because of the friends that we've made, because of
The lessons learned.
wow, just the impact
Oh,
that so many
yeah.
of these organizations have on our community. We may not be there every month, every meeting,
Or at least 4 meetings in a day.
right? But we're still going to be there because
that's good to hear.
what we've learned, and we see that there's so much that occurs in our community that we simply need to be aware of.
Right, right. Well, what we're going to do, because we're coming close to our time, I would like both of you all to have an opportunity to look right in the camera and just tell the people whatever you want to feel from your heart as we go into this holiday season. And, you know, it's on you.
Well, I'll say, firstly, from my family to yours, happy holidays. Have a very blessed Christmas season. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy your family. Appreciate the fact that although at times, you know, we may not like everything that's happening in this country, we live in this country. We live in a country where we are able to worship, fellowship, and enjoy one another. So I really encourage us to take a moment to stop and truly smell the roses. And then we'll be right back on the campaign trail. Again, there are so many people who are running this election. For some reason that we just had a large number of judges retire during this election cycle. So we challenge you to look and research the names. When you see the flyers that are coming in the mail, that you see in the newspaper, the yard signs, some of which are out already, research us. I challenge you, look us up, find out who we really are, what it is that we really, really stand for. Are we really committed to the community when we say that it's about justice for all? What has our track record been? You know, am I using very good rhetoric, or am I living this life of service? Am I showing that I'm an educated, fair, just, even-tempered person that you'd be honored to have on the bench? Right. So I challenge the public to do that.
Great, that's great.
I want to echo the Merry Christmas. For me, it's Happy Birthday, Jesus. This is a season, and for those who are hurting for whatever their needs are, I know I have a girlfriend who lost her mom a couple days ago, and I know there are others in this space and friends who are experiencing the holidays for the first time without loved ones. You know, weeping endureth for a night, but joy will come in the morning. And just be blessed in the space you're in, whatever it may be. We talked about at one point on this, making this the victory tour, and we were not having a great day. So we try not to have meltdowns at the same time.
Right.
But knowing that this is a victory tour, so whatever space you're in your life, make that your victory tour. If it doesn't look good, this is still you're gonna have a testimony for it. And that'll be our testimony on the campaign trail. Again, I stand with my position, vote for the seated judges. We were appointed for this time, for this season, for a reason. We were not appointed because we are political hacks or because we had certain names. We were all appointed because we are qualified to serve and are serving. And so that I just leave you with that our community deserves the very, very best. And we are that.
So I want to say to you as well, you know, this is a holiday season. We want you to, you know, just love on each other, love on your family, you know, just come together and understand that this is about the birth of Jesus Christ, and that, you know, we just need to do better, and we can do better. And also we can also elect people who can help us move forward in our communities and do better. So I'm looking at two ladies who are already sitting judges, who've shared with you some of the things that they've experienced. That's what it's about, experience. Make sure that we're putting people in the seats who've been there. They've been there for 9 months, appointed by some very highly individuals from the Supreme Court that said that they should be doing the job. And just hearing from you personally, both of you, and just, you know, just your spirit about how you like working with people and when you work with people and how you do your job, that means a lot, listeners and viewers. So let's make sure we put the right people in. They're going to be back on the show right after the holidays. So we want you all to enjoy yourselves with your family and have a beautiful Merry Christmas. God bless. Thanks for watching.